Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot is out.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway has been home to many famous racing traditions. The very first race being held in 1909. In fact, it was a balloon race. As we progress through history, many national racing organizations such as IndyCar and NASCAR have helped propel this racetrack to national stardom. In fact, this year was the first time a Japanese driver won in the IndyCar series. Well, we're not talking about them. We're talking about NASCAR. These 34 machines first graced the Indianapolis Motor Speedway back in 1994 when Pittsboro, Indiana's Jeff Gordon went to victory lane. Several years later, the NASCAR App Cup Series reaches its halfway point of the season at the Brickyard 400, just past 2:30 p.m. here on the east. The weather here, it is little cloudy. There was a little bit of sun earlier before the cars rolled out here, and as we progress through the afternoon, unfortunately, rain may possibly be a factor in deciding this Brickyard 400 today. So the start time was moved up from, it's kind of a precaution, the start time was moved up from 12:51 up 5 minutes to 12:46, which is just in a few moments. Anyways, while we're waiting, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Surprising pole winner Saturday afternoon with Xavier Sodreska getting his first career pole in the 21. In the Motorcraft Ford, and the Pennzoil Ford is to the outside. Row 2 finds the 75th anniversary M&M's Toyota and the White Deuce Ford. Row number 3 finds the FedEx Express Toyota and the Fastenal Ford. Row 4 finds the Aris Internet Modems Toyota and the Mobile One Chevrolet. Row 5 finds the Pepsi Chevrolet and the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Row 6 finds the Nature's Bakery Chevrolet and the Ortho Fire Ant Killer Ford. Row 7 finds the Lowe's Chevrolet and the Jimmy John's Chevrolet. Row 8 finds the 29 car. Row 8 finds the 4 car and the Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet. While we're looking through the rest of the field here, let's see if we can look at some of the guys who unfortunately missed inspection on Saturday before going out to qualify and were late to the grid. In fact, 3 guys didn't take time. Let's look at Dylan Murway, who's currently on a pretty decent hot streak right now. Hey, Dylan Murway, this is Wally Dolan back on the NBC booth. You got us? No, let's do somebody different. Let's interview Xavier Sodreska on his poll. Hey, Xavier, this is Wally Dolan back up in the NBC Sports booth. You got us? Tune to Channel 2. Channel 2. What's up there? Radio issues. I'm going to try again here. Hey, Xavier, this is Wally Dolan back up in the NBC booth. You got us? Yeah, what's up, bud? You excited for leading the poll to the green flag here in the Brickyard, man? Pretty exciting stuff. Oh yeah, we were just lucked out on the Motorcraft Ford this weekend. We looked at a lot of notes from Roger Penske since we're so tight with them. Just see how to take on this place. And it actually paid off because we applied Brad Keselowski's setup from 2015 from last year in the Sprint Cup Series to this car, and hopefully it'll be up front and hopefully contend for the win. That's good. Have a good race down there. 10-4, thanks, bud. He is one of 6 onboard cameras on using our NBC HD onboard cameras. They can also be watched on the NBC Sports Go app and on NASCAR.com/RaceBuddy. Xavier Sodreska has the iHop on board. KFC Cup Series has the mobile one on board. Hunter Miller has the Mountain Dew on board. Hunter Rizzoni, who's going to be basically taking this green flag shotgun and last today, has the Monster Energy on board. Grayson Alcebdo has the Mac Tonight on board for his Chevrolet. And Alvin Alonso is going to take the green flag from 6th, and he will have the Zest onboard camera. Anyways, look at the race facts here. This place is a giant rectangle, pretty much. Long 90-degree corners, and especially with the new tire being the big unknown today. What are we going to... I expect these guys to be very, very cautious here on lap 1, especially with the new tire and the issues it may cause. A lot of these guys is here. They're going to get an extra pace lap so they can swerve the tires, get them cleaned up for the start. Because they were similar to... There's a situation down here a few years back, down in 2008, where tires were blowing left and right. NASCAR itself, they don't want to be throwing competition cautions every 30 seconds pretty much. So they're going to allow these guys one extra lap to get the tires cleaned up, which basically means as time goes on, if hopefully we're going to be getting setting a record pace today, because there's a lot of wrecks, like a lot of people are fearing this race could stretch on for quite a while. Let's look at some radio communications from 21 camp. All right, buddy. That 21 looks pretty good out front. See if you can bring this baby to victory lane and give Mr. Glenn Wood his first Brickyard 400 win. Do my best, bud. Keep it out of trouble. Keep it up front, because that's what I do. As they see the balloons let off in the distance down by turn 3, they're going to be released over the Speedway Pagoda, which is a tradition here at Indianapolis, whether it be Brickyard 400 or Indy 500 in May. And by the way, some announcements today that we like to cover before this race goes green. Chicagoland comes onto the schedule next year as a Saturday night race after Daytona. That race will be seen on TNT. And North Carolina is going to move its race date to Atlanta's former spring date, which means Atlanta is going to have a little bit more significance, if you will, as the Championship 4 finale down at the end of the 10-race chase and the 3 rounds. Well, the wait and yakking is over. Pace car is off. Xavier Sodreska, Zoex Moon are going to lead the field down to the green flag in front of a sellout crowd this afternoon at the Brickyard. And we are green on NBC. That jump the 21 car got, I think the 18 may have partially been a factor in the jump, the amazing jump the 21 got. Because as they come off turn 2, they are already single file in the first 4 spots. You see the 11 of SportsCenter Cup Series trying to pick up a couple spots. A lot of these guys, especially since this track's got long, winding front straightaways and 2 chutes, a lot of guys are going to try to break the draft quite a bit. You won't see as much fanning out because there isn't really much in the way of room. I mean, you could go 2, 3 wide, but that's 3 wide is kind of pushing it, especially with these cars and how sensitive they are. And you saw it there. The 11 was trying to snake so he can break the draft to the 2 car. Looks like, and he brings the 19 of Caleb Hoffman with him. See Zark's Moon. Oh wow, that's the problem with snake, with the way these guys you snake sometimes, especially down the front stretch and back stretch, which you're going to be seeing quite a bit today. If you get behind somebody and they don't know you're there, it could create a pretty big problem. Meanwhile, the 4 car is making his way through traffic. As there was some pretty interesting conversation on the start. What is that 29 thinking? He was never going to try to put it between me and the 48. What the was this moron thinking? Honestly. He's just a brain-dead idiot that's going to be drifting to 30th, bud. Don't worry about it. You're doing fine inside 48. Inside 48. You're inside the 48, bud. All right, buddy. You're inside 48. 48. Still there. Still there. Still there. Again, from the way he was talking, it sounds like a similar problem happened between the 4 and the 29, similar to the way the 22 and the 11 almost had a pretty big moment there. It looks like we got the 18, Jonathan Wishart, Joshua Leanbatch, is trying to challenge the 21, maybe for the lead, but for the moment, he just try to go to the inside. 2. And a little bit of 3 wide racing for the moment, coming off 4 between the 1, the 17, or the 7 and the 15. Right here. Yes, if there's just any way to get spots, and this track position is so important, and that this track is one groove, unlike Pocono last week. Guess you just got to break the draft and kind of break the ice and do moves like this sometimes. As problem turn 3. I'm sorry, the chute. Down in the chute, looks like Blake Dillon has blown a tire. And he's one of the cars with damage. Oh, yeah. Lap 3 was the... there is another car involved, which looks to me like the 4 may have damaged. Oh, 24. Wow. Jacob Tube, points leader, in trouble early at Indy, and oh my God, he's got damage. Steering's destroyed, boys. We're done. He just blew up and got us. Blake Dillon was running in the 7th position. Jacob Tube was running in 10th when all this went down in the chute. Let's look at what happened. Like right here, you see the 10. He gets loose, thinks he has a problem. He signals, then the tire lets go. Wow. The debris, the rubber, see all those chunks? He gets the wall. 17 gets by, 14 gets by. The 24 does not. He takes a pretty heavy shot. And, ooh, wow. So does Jacob Tube. Wow, that's... There's no way they're probably going to be repairing that thing. Now, if we get another angle here, especially, watch this miss the 4-car makes. See, he sees the wreck. And at this point, he tries to anticipate all the way. See, he's right behind the 24 car. Then he hits the 10, immediately pulls it to the right. Actually, I don't think he got much damage out of this. Maybe just a little bit of grass damage because he kind of clipped the grass with the left front of the car. Just trying to not get in the back of the 24. But two heavily damaged cars. And you might think, especially with the speeds they're going to shoot, they're going in these two short shoots today. They're going almost 200 miles an hour into these corners. Then they're about... Blake Dillon was about 160, going 168 miles an hour when this happened. And even then, that is a pretty big blowout. Blake Dillon down on pit road repairing damage. Pretty major damage to his machine. Yeah, that doesn't look repairable. Jacob Tube, his day is done. 3 laps into the Brickyard. See if we get an angle on this car here. That left side is just flattened against the wall on that impact. He is able to walk away under his own power, which is the best news that we could possibly see, because that was a hard lick. So it turned out Dylan Murray was able to get the grass away just by driving up behind the 14 under caution and blew the grass off the car. A lot of these drivers, after seeing what happened to the 10 cars, are got to be really on edge right now, especially if you're in the Stewart-Haas camp. Like see the 10 blow up like that and collect the 41. As well, and collecting the 24. So a lot of these guys ought to be very nervous right now, especially with tire concerns. In fact, here's what KFC Cup Series said after talking to his crew chief, Mike Bogaravich. Do you know how good our tires are? Because the 10 blew up, kind of scared me. That happened right in front of me. Just try to clean them up as much as you can, and you'll be fine. I don't know what to tell you, bud. Well, how about Goodyear gets a tire that actually works on tracks like this? Could very well be a potentially frustrating day for a lot of guys, especially with how sensitive and weak these tires kind of are. As pace car is off. Gonna get ready for the restart. And we are green here at Indy. Whoa, that was almost pretty big with the 21. Getting shoved way out into the outside lane on this start. Some of the guys that started outside of top 25 after failing inspection have decided to take 2 tires, especially when everybody else took 4. Not sure if that would have been a safe move, knowing that the next moment, the next tire could blow out and their day could be done. And look at that. Never thought I'd see the day. I mean, a lot of guys like to go 3 wide on these turns. On the straightaway, 4 wide. Wow. Holy cow. 4 wide, right behind these guys. Contact. Oh, more contact. Looks like the 43 just, whoa. Looking at that pack right there. That almost was big. Wow. Oh, yep. 43's got damage, and he's into the wall and around. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Get low, low if you can, low if you can, low if you can. Get low, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way to the apron, all the way to the apron, all the way low. Look! Oh, wow! What a hit! Hunter Miller. Wow. Major damage in this one. Wow. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Heavy crash down here in turns 3 and 4 here at Indianapolis, involving a couple cars. As the red flag is immediately displayed. And all the cars that got by this wreck are being stopped in turn 1. Hunter Miller, the window net is down in his car. Mason Powers, the window net is not. He is moving. One of them looks to be hurt. Major damage to the 43 of Mason Powers. He's the one we're focusing on because he basically got drilled right in the front end of that car. Look, there is debris and oil. Oh my God, the radiator's out of this thing. See Hunter Miller, he's out, a little sore. That's a pretty heavy impact for the 5 car, especially in the 40 for the 43 being forced down into the grass, jacking up the wheel, spinning around off of turn 3 there, and then vicious contact. Medical workers. Oh, that's bad. That does not look pretty. That looks... keep Mason Powers in your prayers, folks. We're in Indianapolis. Back here at Indy, NBC Sports welcomes you to the Brickyard 400, where we're quickly under our second caution here on lap number 5. Well, 6 of 11 today. After the caution first yellow came out on lap 4, only due to tire issues. The tire they built here under the red, especially under the red flag, tire issues leading to this horrible crash. And Hunter Miller is out of the car. He's taking the ride to the care center. Mason Powers is not out of the car. The winner is down, however. Wow. They're pulling him out of the car to the roar of the crowd. He looks hurt, so it looks like they got the stretcher. You see some of the teams watching on pit road. Just a reminder, Hunter Miller has been released from the care center just now, and he is standing by with Bill Weber. Bill? Thanks, Alan. Hunter saw the wreck basically happen in the 43 slide down the track. Can you take us through what happened? I don't know, man. They were racing pretty crazy up in front of me. And next thing you know, my spotter's telling me, go low as you can, stay at the 20. Next thing you know, the front of the 43. I don't know, man. I hope everybody's all right. That was a bad crash. We all just need to pray for Mason Powers right now. We need to pray for Mason right now. See a very upset Hunter Miller. Looks like he's going to wait for Mason Powers to go to be taken to the infield care center, which, since they're loading him up in the stretcher, they're taking him to a nearby medical hospital down in Indiana, which is where Hunter Miller looks to be going next. And same with the Richard Petty team, the 43 team of Richard Petty. His pit crew is going down there. Definitely a pretty terrible situation. Well, where we're looking is to see the 43 car get loaded up onto the wrecker. The way the 43 came down and then got hit, it looked like if Hunter Miller could have gotten low, could have very well just absorbed most of the impact in the front. But of course, the way the 43 was spinning, didn't even see it. And then we talked about, and then just got hit. Looks like right in the spot where the driver compartment is. BP is going to be showing us this in our Smithfield cutaway car. Thanks, Alan. And the driver compartment needs to be protected a lot in these crashes. The way the 43 car spun and got hit by the 5, it bent a piece of it bent the driver's compartment and basically pushed it forward. The driver's compartment, especially the cockpit of these cars, acts kind of a cocoon, especially in pretty hard impacts like that. Sort of how like the 24's for his cockpit held up pretty well after that early crash. Unfortunately, 43, right by the left wheel well, the left front corner of that car basically got pushed in on impact. So And the reason these cockpits are here is to protect a guy and so they can walk out from horrible crashes like Mason Powers actually had a flip a couple weeks ago at Daytona where he got pile driven in the back in that 23 car crash on the last lap. He was able to get out okay with because the driver's compartment was not harmed. However, today, because he got hit in the left side of the car, it pushed the driver's compartment, especially that left corner, in, basically destroying the cockpit on contact. Red flag is lifted here at Indianapolis. See the 43 team moving to getting into a team bus to make the trek out to an Indiana hospital where they can check and hopefully pray for their driver in a speedy recovery. Anyways, we got to rest the race to finish here. The red flag took about 41 minutes to get Mason Powers out of his car. Think about it, he's kind of like the Steve Park of this series. He's suffered some pretty heavy wrecks in his time in this sport. Everybody going down, taking 4 tires this time, so they don't have an accident like that. Even though that incident was nothing out of the 43's control, the fender was pushed in quite a bit and cut the tire, and around he went. Then just got absolutely nailed. And again, the reason Hunter Miller was able to get out so quick was after he hit the 43, he slid and hit the safer barrier. Now, the safer barrier, it acts as kind of a cushion to protect these drivers from hard impacts and not compromising the damage in the cockpit of the car. We saw Indianapolis put these in as a test down in 2002 for the Indy 500 that year. Ever since then, it's saved a lot of drivers' lives from, any major incident. Unfortunately, sometimes these walls sometimes end, especially if you look in 2017 at Sebastian Bourdais' wreck. Anyways, scary crashes aside, we got to rest the race to run here, as we're going to be restarting this race on lap 7. So basically 5 laps to go. Joe Gibbs' cars have dominated most of the day ever since the rain stopped. But look out for the red flag stopped. Look out for the 31 car, though. He could be a pretty big factor by the time this is all said and done, especially with the 4 car behind him saying that he'll push, and if he wants to make it 3 wide, he'll go. Let's go NBC's High Speed, presented by the new movie Despicable Me 3. Ready? Green. Green. All rolling. Rolling. Coming. Shove to the bottom. Bottom. That was good. 31 got loose and spun. No caution. 31's one car got loose. He is on the bottom of the track. No caution. No caution. Corner. Clear. 18 4 car just got between you and the 11. Watch it. Watch him try to do something. Watch it. Quite a wild restart right there. As a 31 tried going through wide on the 11, but basically got the door shut on him and then pushed into the grass and spun. Looks like they did not call the caution because he was out of the way on the apron. We'll see if we can try to get a replay of that in the moment. But here comes Dylan Murway right under the 18. Here in 3 and 4, Dylan Murway, he's been one of the hottest guys in NASCAR right now, winning the last 2 races, especially in this series. Contact between the 4 and the 18. I don't know if I would have done that, especially with how sensitive the tires have been today. So we got one car up in the wall. Looks like it is the 48 of Nate Sherman, the top, right front, boys, coming to you. They have not called a caution for that either. However, if he's up there and stays up there much longer, then it's going to be a caution. 4 laps to go in the Brickyard 400. Joshua Leanbatch comes back on the outside. They made contact again. By the way, Nate Sherman has gotten his car to pit road. We do stay green. Here comes the 11 trying to mix things up. And we got a 3-car dogfight for the win coming off turn 2. Now here comes the 11. All the way to the inside. Look at him pole rushing his way through there. Just past 5 o'clock here in the past 4:45 here in the locally. If you're watching today's race here on NASCAR and NBC, we are seeing a crazy dogfight for the win between several of these guys. Almost 4 cars are in contention to win this race right now. Nate Sherman has returned to the racetrack, 1 lap down in 29th. The 31 has moved to take 28th. Is moved into 28th. He is not competitive. Looks like 18's in the wall. Caution. This changes everything. Yellow's out, yellow's out, yellow's out. Right front has gone down. It's like maybe after contact with the 4. Looks like he's still going. And speaking of that, and you want to talk about a lucky break, man, Nate Sherman, he lucked out right there during that crazy exchange between him and the 88 that sent 48 up in the inside wall. He lucked out. He doesn't have to wait. He can just get the free pass. Seeing the wall just pound into the inside wall right there. Stop. They're calling you on that, bud. They're calling you. Stop. Just stop, bud. They're calling you. What are you doing? See the 11 just run him up the racetrack. What are you doing? Just stop. Well, that ought to be a interesting team meeting on Monday morning. And especially after the race, too. We got a 2-lap sprint in this race. Sprint left. Blake Dillon returned to the racetrack after multiple repairs while spending most of the race behind the wall. In the meantime, let's take a look at our Wendy's race menu. Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be visiting the Rockingham for the one-stop visit. Hope it doesn't rain like hell there. That can be seen on TNT. And then the next Saturday afternoon, we got a couple Saturday afternoon races on TNT. Then we got Portland. Coverage begins at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. And then Michigan, the 3M Performance 400. Coverage for that race begins at 1 p.m. Eastern with the Scar Car Countdown to Green. The telecast for that race is going to be presented by Golden Corral. And then part of the two-race road course swing, the inaugural visit out to Sebring International Raceway in Florida. Coverage of that race begins at noon Eastern. That is a Friday race, believe it or not. One of three coming up in the next few. One of a couple coming up in the next few races. In fact, Bristol, the Sharpie 500, is going to be a Friday night race as well. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Today, this afternoon, we got pretty interesting showdown. 2-lap, dead-on, sprint to the checkers. How do things play out? Nate Sherman, with his free pass and damage repairs, he is down in 19th, with WB Network moving up to 9th. But I'm sure this is going to be quite the interesting race. The 11 has decided to pick the outside lane on this restart. That'll be quite the interesting show. And he's got the 4 on the inside, so he's got teammate power behind him, behind the 2 leaders. Ready? Here we go. 2 laps left to settle it in the Brickyard. Ready. Green. Both of them got a pretty good start. But remember, the 4 has the preferred line going in, the preferred groove going into turn 1. And he's clear. Question is, he signaled the 14 under the caution while we were in commercial that he wants, if the 4 can get out front, he's going to want to have to block him like crazy. Block any form of charges for a 1-2 Stuart Haas finish. It looks like he's going to do just that if the 14 can actually clear the 11. But the question is, if the 14 wants this to win this race, does he have enough time, though, to run down, or at least attempt to run down the 4, his teammate? Dylan Murway is pulled to a 1.2 second gap. Caleb Hoffman has moved into 3rd. Oh, wow, we got crazy racing behind him. The 16 and 78 are going at it on the racetrack, pushing the 16 out of the way and, well, basically putting him in the wall at this point. As you see the rest of this field just flying by. Ready. Off of turn 4. Dylan Murway will see the white flag. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Dylan Murway, he had the fastest car today. Sure, he started outside the top 10. Can Caleb Hoffman try to catch the 14? He's got him in his sights. Oh, looks like 4 may have a problem. Flat. Oh, what a heartbreaker for Dylan Murway. Just losing the tire right in front of him. Seeing the right front just explode. He is out of the way. Here comes KFC Cup Series. Can he make it back? Does he have a problem? Or can he have a problem? Does he have a problem to mix things up? Middle. All right, 3, clear. Bottom of 3. Can Caleb Hoffman get there? Kind of an interesting turn of events for that group. Here comes Caleb Hoffman. He's pulling even down into 3. And looks to me like the left rear is flat in the 14. Around goes KFC Cup Series. Wow, just unfortunate to see Stuart Haas's plans unravel like that. Now does the 19 have enough tire integrity to make it all the way around? Cars wrecking all over the place here on the last lap. Seems to be the trend here at Indy. Is Caleb Hoffman won the championship last season. Won at California earlier this year. Has been on a pretty long winless streak since then. Having a couple unfortunate DNFs and almost winning at Brighton a couple months ago. Caleb Hoffman finally gets to christen his name amongst legends this afternoon. Caleb Hoffman wins the Brickyard 400 as we got a car spinning off 4. That is the 78. Awesome job, boys. Awesome job. And you think March Madness and the NBA Finals are exciting? Or the Stanley Cup Finals even? Just sit down and watch the NASCAR Cup Series race on YouTube and on NBC and TNT, even on our colleagues at Fox and FX, because you see stuff like this. KFC Cup Series has gotten his car back around. There's WB Network, still sitting in a pretty dense cloud of smoke. Dylan Murway stopped his car in the apron of turn 3. He will probably be credited with a 29th place finish. WB Network, if he can drive, the 78 will be credited with a 28th place finish this afternoon. And the 14 KFC Cup Series, who did get the car fired up, will finish in the 27th position. Caleb Hoffman, he knew to come up big. He said after his championship, he wanted to win the Daytona 500 and a few more big event named marquee races. He's got several good tracks coming up for him later this year, like Michigan, the 3 road courses, especially in a couple weeks at Portland. The racing at Bristol, hometown kid there. And as season 19 doing burnouts on the front straightaway. Oh, trouble down pit road. WB Network and Brendan Little are in a pretty big scuffle right now. NASCAR officials in there trying to pull these two apart. Blood on the forehead of WB Network. See Brendan Little, he is down in the pits with Dave Burns. Brendan Little, can you tell us what the contact on the last lap was all about? Simple, eye for an eye. You ran me off the racetrack like that and tried to put me in a wall at a track like this. I mean, that's what the 78 did was asinine, honestly. Were there any words exchanged? You saw what happened. And see a very frustrated and upset Brendan Little about the incident that just took place. Speaking, at least 78 is 16 is speaking his mind. Matt, can you catch up with the 78? Yeah, Dave, I'm with WB Network. And you okay to ask a question? But why the fuck do you think I'm going to be okay? I just beat the shit out of somebody. Of course I'm not going to be okay. We apologize for that language. Emotions running high, especially as they get closer to the chase. 16 car out of desperation. Gets loose, hits the 78, spins him around. And WB Network went over and let him know how he felt. Which, kind of a little early to do stuff like that because you got road courses, plenty of time to pay people back. Could be it could be pretty interesting to see how things play out in the next couple weeks between the 78 and the 16. Reminder, Caleb Hoffman has won the Brickyard 400 this afternoon. Next Saturday at 7:30, the Subway 400 from North Carolina. Coverage begins on TNT with the Discover Car Countdown to Green, and then the telecast to the Subway 400, which can be seen live in HD on TNT for the first time, and also can be seen on NASCAR.com/RaceBuddy. Well, definitely an interesting day at the Brickyard. Tire issues, scary crashes, and we do like to inform you that Mason Powers has suffered a broken left leg after a horrifying crash where he basically drove down the racetrack and got T-boned by the 5. So the replacement driver for the 43 will be announced a later date this week. Those of you who want to stay on NBC, make sure to tune into your local news. If you're on the Pacific Coast, on the East, make sure to tune into a new episode of The Voice. If you're in the mountain region, make sure you want to continue watching this race on NBC. Make sure to tune into NBC Nightly News. And if you're on the East Coast, continue to enjoy watching Shrek 2 being seen on NBC today. Anyways, we're done at the Brickyard. Congratulations to Caleb Hoffman. See you Saturday.